Could this bottle right here behind my hands be the best rinseless wash on the market currently? We are at the beginning of 2024. Well, you're about to find out by watching this video. So what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Pan the Organizer. Today, I'm reviewing the brand new Armour Detail Supply Hero. It's a rinseless wash. And I think you guys are up for a treat because there's a lot going on with this. Now, I personally always prefer the traditional wash method because I can use my garage to wash cars. I have access to free-flowing water, so that's my preferred method. However, I am well aware that many of you guys out there, not everyone has access to a garden hose or a pressure washer or free-flowing water. Not everyone has access to their garage, and sometimes a rinseless wash is the only alternative solution to a safe wash method because if used properly, of course, rinseless washes are super safe for the paintwork as long as you use common sense. And we're going to talk about that in this video. So Armour Detail Supply, two professional detailers out of the USA, DJ and Bradley, awesome guys. And they came out with this in a collaboration with Eddie Cologne of ECD Details YouTube channel. Shout out to my buddy Eddie. He's doing some great things for the detailing community. Up and rising star on YouTube, absolutely love his stuff. And he's known as the rinseless guy because he tests, at this point, I think he's almost close to 20 different rinseless washes that he has tested on his channel. And this took first place for his top 5 best rinseless washes in 2024. He told me, Pan, you absolutely have to try it. It is gangster level amazing. So we're going to do a deep dive. By the way, quick disclaimer, this is not a paid review, so nobody paid for this video. However, Armour Detail Supply did send me this ahead of launch date, so I'm filming this on April 20th, 2024, and I think this is going to launch in the next couple of days. By the time the video goes live, you'll have access to this. By the way, I'll leave links to all of the tools, products, and equipment in the description under the video for you guys to check them out. So all you have to do is sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. So we're going to talk about the product. Of course, you're going to see it in a demo, and we're also going to be talking or comparing it to other very good rinseless washes that I have tested on my channel so far, or that I have tested, period. So namely the DIY Detail Rinseless Wash. Many of these have taken awards in my yearly awards video for best detailing products of the year for the rinseless washes. Another new one, the Idrosave from Labocosmetica, made its way to the US of A. So pH neutral polymer based rinseless wash. We're going to talk about the technologies, by the way, because some are polymer based, some are surfactant based, some are hybrids. What is all of that? Can we demystify that? Should we even worry about the technologies behind them? The McKee's N914 rinseless wash. There's a version 2 that's out there. I haven't tested version 2 yet. I'm told it's a bit slicker, but still a classic in the rinseless wash world. A semi-relative newcomer at this point. It's been out for over a year, but it's PNS Absolute Rinseless Wash. This is a polymer-based rinseless wash. And last but not least, the OG of rinseless washes, but now in its latest formulation, revision number 5. This is Optimum Polymer Technologies ONR, or Optimum No Rinse. So yeah, this one here, the latest revision number 5. So pricing-wise, performance-wise, the technologies, we're going to talk about that. But first, before we do the demo with the Armour Detail Supply, let me quickly give you a background on what this is. So this is a hybrid rinseless wash, meaning it's a blend of surfactants and polymers. According to DJ and Bradley, this is more heavy on the polymer side than on the surfactant side, and they're using a residue-free surfactant that will not foam. So this is not meant to be foamed on and will not create foam in your bucket. I know more and more people like that because it doesn't leave any of that foamy residue in the cracks and crevices and intricate parts when you're done rinseless washing your vehicle, right? Great cleaning action and lubricity was their main objective. They said they were up to their 11th or 12th revision when they were actually formulating this product. The first thing you think when you notice when you open it, it's a kiwi and strawberry scent. Can you guys smell that? Here, have a sniff through the glass. Yeah, it's the best smelling by far. I think they absolutely nailed it. And again, they concentrated on the cleaning potential and lubricity. It is very important if you're to use a rinseless wash to have a lot of lubrication on the surface if you don't want to do any marring or scratching of your paintwork. Of course, if your car is super dirty, caked in a layer of thick mud, you would pre-rinse your vehicle first, right? I remind you that a rinseless wash doesn't mean that you never rinse your vehicle. It only means that you don't have to rinse at the end of the rinseless process. So use common sense and you should be fine. So standard dilution ratios applied, everything we've been used to so far. 1 to 256, meaning half an ounce for every gallon of water for the rinseless dilution. And in the back, they also clearly mention the other uses. So you can dilute it 1 to 128 or an ounce to every gallon as a clay lubricant, and 1 to 64 or 2 ounces for every gallon for a waterless wash. So the waterless wash dilution at 164 can also be used as a glass cleaner, as an interior cleaner, which works very, very good, as a drying aid. So if you're done washing your vehicle the traditional way, you rinsed your vehicle while it's still wet, you can use the 1 to 64 dilution, spray it on the vehicle, and use it as a drying aid, because you're going to notice under the towel, this is very, very slick. So I think they definitely knocked that out of the park. So what's behind the chemistry of this one? Because we said it's a hybrid, right? So hybrid meaning there is a blend of what they say residue free of the surfactant, so it doesn't leave any residue behind, but it's heavier on the polymer side. And when they say polymer, they mean it has a few polymers in there as well, but also an SiO2 backbone, so a silica or silicon dioxide, SiO2 as we often call it in the detailing world. So it's not meant for protection in this case, the SiO2 backbone, but more for lubricity, because there are many uses, right? Graphene, the same thing. It's not only for water spot prevention, but also many use it for lubrication, sometimes for greater degreasing capabilities if it's used in a shampoo. So in this case, the SiO2 backbone in this one is for added lubricity. Now, does it leave something behind? Well, technically any polymer-based rinseless wash will leave something behind, but in this case, they made sure that it's nothing that's stout or long lasting. So if you were to use this, for example, before you apply ceramic coating, no problem. You do your IPA wipe after using this, and that's enough to remove whatever residue is left behind. And whatever minimum residue is from the polymers that's left behind, not only will it go very quickly, so it's not made to last, it doesn't leave any thick residue behind. It is also not surface altering, meaning it doesn't change the hydrophobic properties of your protection that's underneath. For example, if you have a wax, a sealant, or a ceramic coating, this will not alter the protection. So that's one thing I really enjoyed. They focused really on cleaning power and lubricity. So that's a key thing. If you don't want something that changes the hydrophobic properties of your very good protection, this is definitely one of them. Smells awesome. And yeah, let's dive right into the demo. We're going to mix this up. We're going to show it on a vehicle. By the way, let me show you the state of the vehicle. So it is my girlfriend's 2021 Nissan Rogue. You've seen it on the channel before. We're filming this the 20th of April, 2024. At the beginning of the month, there was a final snowstorm in Montreal, the never-ending winter months. So it's quite dirty. All right, see, this is the state of the paint. So we can see some leftover minerals and water spots, because this often sleeps outside. There is a bit of bug and bug guts. The spring months are slowly but surely coming. So the remaining residual minerals from the road salts that they put on the roads here in Montreal, Canada. We can look at the glass here. So not super thick or dirty, covered in mud, obviously. So that we'd pre-rinse if that was the case. But a good candidate. I pre-cleaned the wheels and tires off camera. I always start with those. You can check out my full tutorial if you want to see on the rinseless wash how I tackle wheels and tires in the case of a rinseless wash scenario. But these needed a deeper clean because they were stored in a storage facility at the local tire shop, because these are the summer rims, and they were caked with brake dust and crap that accumulated and fallout and whatever else contamination during the winter months. So here we can look at the level of dirt. So this is a perfect candidate for rinseless washes. Again, always use common sense when you're tackling a rinseless wash on a vehicle. If it is disgustingly dirty, you will absolutely have to pre-rinse first, right? So we're going to pre-treat with the rinseless solution. We're going to show you how to dilute all that in your bucket and in your pump sprayer. And we're going to see how the Armour Detail Supply Hero does. So we can see here the glass, the chrome trim, and all that good stuff. All right, guys, so it's time to do the dilution. So in your wash bucket, always have a grit guard in the bottom. It's going to help to keep that dirt and grime in the bottom. And this, by the way, this Armour Detail Supply Hero Rinseless Wash, it freely releases all the dirt from your wash media and it goes directly to the bottom. So I love seeing that. Again, great cleaning potential of this. So in here, I have 4 gallons of water. Typically, you can use 3 gallons, so you need 1.5 ounces because it's half an ounce for every gallon of water. In this case, as we have 4 gallons of water, I'll be using 2 ounces of this product. So I'm going to take my measuring cup. So you need very little. That's the great thing about the majority of the rinseless washes, is they're highly dilutable. So you would pour this in to your water. There you go. Stir that in. So it mixes very freely, no issue with the dilution itself. And now for wash media, what would you use? So you have the option of using the rinseless wash sponges like this one from DIY Detail. This is their legacy sponge. So as you can tell, there's a lot of these squares in there. They help to keep the dirt trapped in there to not scratch or mar the surface. Very ergonomic. This is probably my favorite rinseless wash sponge at the moment. There's this one from the Rag Company, the Ultra Black Sponge. So same principle here with those little squares that you can tell that can trap the dirt and grime. And also a lot of people like using microfiber towels, and you can get these on the Armour Detail Supply website or on Autofiber or on many other websites as well. Leave them linked in the description. These are the new Autofiber double flip rinseless wash towels, 1100 GSM, 75-25 blend, so very high quality. But the cool thing about this, because they're thinking more and more about people using rinseless washes, it has 4 clean sides. How would you say? Well, first of all, on the first side, you get 2 sides, right? But it's been made that you can flip the towel over to the other side, and there you go, kind of like a little pocket. And now you have your 2 other clean sides. So 4 clean sides out of each one. You get 3 inside the pack. So that's 12 clean sides, more than enough to do the majority of average size vehicles like this SUV or your average size sedan. So regardless which wash media you guys prefer, you can use any of them. In this case, I really like using the sponge itself. So make sure that you mix everything in there. And then for the pre-treat, I always like to pre-spray the rinseless solution on the vehicle. So you can grab your IK Multi Pro 2 sprayer, whatever pump sprayer you like, or in this case, I really like Marilex. I prefer them over IK. I think they're built just a little bit better, but they last more per pump, so you're doing less mechanical pumping. In this case, I'm using just their regular Ergo Master Series 1500, so you don't need their very more expensive ones that can protect against acidic or pH or higher pH type products. So for the dilution, well, you don't have to worry because you already diluted it in your bucket, right? So you just take your pump sprayer, you're going to dunk it in there, and there you go. Perfectly diluted solution. Make sure to not overfill. Leave some space for the air in there. And there you go. So we're going to pre-spray the entire vehicle. And the good thing about the Armour Detail Supply Hero is I'm working in a controlled environment, 20 degrees Celsius or 68 degrees Fahrenheit, 45% humidity indoors. So I never have any issues. But this one here was formulated for use for even mobile detailers or DIYers that have to work outside, because you can use this in direct sunlight. Ideally, guys, always work in the shade on a cool surface. That's always for the best results. However, know that even if you work in direct sunlight, absolutely no problems. Of course, it's going to dry on you quicker if you work in direct sunlight, but you can still do your entire vehicle. And if there are any polymer spots left behind, they're going to wipe super easily with your microfiber drying towel. And even on glass, this doesn't streak glass. So this is one of the best ones that I have found out there. And so, yeah, let's go ahead. We're going to pump this up. We're going to pre-treat the vehicle, and then we're going to use the sponge to do the rinseless wash method. And then we're going to come back and talk about its competition, the price, the value, and come to a conclusion, right? Let's go ahead. All right, so we're pre-spraying now. And what this does, it starts to encapsulate all that loose dirt and debris. It's going to start softening up that road film or traffic film and just create even more lubrication on the surface. And of course, you can spray this on all the exterior surfaces, your glass, your plastics, your paint, your wheels, headlights, taillights. This is made to wash the entire vehicle. So see, I don't have to pump. That's what I like about the Marilex. It still keeps going and going. I can usually do the entire half of a vehicle with a single pump, and it's still going. So very high quality. Again, don't worry guys, I'll leave everything linked in the description under the video. All right, so here we are. I finished the pre-spray, and I used the entire 1500 bottle. So this is 1.5 liters or roughly 50 somewhat ounces. So that gives you an idea. I was able to pre-spray the entire vehicle, and now we're going to do the rinseless wash method. So nothing changes here when you're dunking your wash media. You make sure to remove a lot of the water, but just to the point like now where it's barely dripping wet. That's how you want it. And you're applying the rinseless wash on the surface. You're not scrubbing it in, right? So you're just applying. Got all these tips and tricks from my friend Ivan LaCroix from DIY Detail. He's known as the rinseless wash guru. You can flip your sponge to the clean side and you continue applying this. So no pressure added. You're just using whatever pressure is on there. And you're gonna tell one thing right away, where you're gonna use the Armour Detail Supply rinseless wash. They nailed it for, of course, the scent, that kiwi and strawberry. The best out there, if you ask me. That's my preferred. Of course, scent is very subjective. But another thing they definitely nailed is the lubrication. So that's probably my number one thing if I'm to use a rinseless wash. I want tons of lubrication on that surface because I want to make sure that the wash media just glides on the surface. So now we have a bit of dirt here. I don't know if you guys can tell on camera. It's not always obvious on cam, but a little bit of that dirt. Now Eddie calls it the one dunk king because you dunk it once and yeah, it frees up all that dirt already. So I really, really like that. And so we get that to the point where it is barely dripping like so. And now you can continue on. So like a traditional vehicle, I like to work from top to bottom. I'm going to do, of course, the half for the camera and do the other half off cam. So this is not a never ending video. This is just to give you an idea of the thoughts and opinions. Flip that to the clean side. So we can tell it's doing the work, and I can tell that it is also removing a lot of that film and grime, which not all rinseless washes can do, because usually traditional car shampoos, they're better with the surfactants at lifting the veil that's on there so it cannot mask the hydrophobic properties. But here I'm seeing that we are restoring the properties of the coating. I remind you that on my girlfriend's vehicle, we have the Adams Advanced Graphene Ceramic Coating that we applied in October of 2021. It's still doing pretty good, not as good as day one, but it's definitely still there. So I'll get it to a point where it's barely dripping. There we go. But yeah, that's one thing that I noticed. So not only did Armour Detail Supply Hero nail everything as far as the lubrication is concerned, but here we can tell, look at the beading and sheeting, the droplets are moving. We can see the hydrophobic properties come back, which is not always the case with rinseless washes. So yeah, they did a fantastic job on this one. So look at that. We can tell the separation on there. I don't know if you can tell again on camera, but I'm really, really liking what I'm seeing from this. So there you go. Clean that lower part of the trim right away before doing the rest. So yeah, now we can see, look at this. You see all that dirt there, that black stuff? There's a lot of it on there. So one dunk in the rinseless wash. I can tell all that dirt going down there. And look at that already. See? Look at that. So I'm very, very happy with what I see. You can see the water is turning to that murky, disgusting looking. I'm going to show you close up at the end when we're done to give you an idea of the cleaning power this has. I want to get it to the point where barely dripping wet. There you go. And continue on. So the good thing about rinseless washes for those who love the method is you can see how efficient this is. So the whole process, you can go around your car much quicker than the rest of the methods, especially if you're using a sponge like this one and you're using much less water. So again, in your bucket, traditionally for a normal rinseless wash for an average size vehicle, 2 to 3 gallons is all you'll need. So you're using very little product, right? If you're using 3 gallons of solution, you only need 1.5 ounces of rinseless wash. So you're using little to no product. Very, very impressive. I love this rinseless wash. So I'm still going to continue to use my traditional wash method with buckets and water and pressure washers and foam cannons because I can in this garage, and that's what I like. There's something very soothing. But now we're getting to a point where the rinseless washes are a very, very good and viable option. So that is very nice to see. And that many people can use them without having to worry about scratching or marring their paintwork. So very good job on that. And again, dirty, no problem. You dunk it in, get it to a point where it's barely dripping, and you keep on going, and you apply it on the surface. So you let the sponge do the work. No need to apply any pressure, guys, with the rinseless wash method. That's the entire point. Let the chemistry do its magic for you. All right, to speed things up, I'm going to do the other half of the vehicle off cam, and then we're going to come back for the drying process. Can't forget the mirrors, right? Just so you guys can see what I mean about the hydrophobic properties. So when we're applying the rinseless wash, look how it separates. You see that? So instead of it being one thin veil, it actually lifts the road film and traffic film, and it separates, unveiling the coating underneath that has the hydrophobic properties. So that is very nice to see. So clearly this rinseless wash has very, very good cleaning capabilities. Look how it separates there. You see that when I do that? Look at the water separating. Awesome. All right, now that we're done washing the entire vehicle, look at how dirty that water is. That is insane. Look how murky. I used a bucket, clear bucket, so you guys can see the difference. And most of the dirt is right here in the bottom, at least the grit. So great cleaning. But yeah, this frees up a lot of that dirt and grime right into the rinseless solution. So although visually it didn't look super dirty when we first started, right? Well, you can tell all that disgusting dirt and grime that this frees up and restores the properties. Probably one of the best ones for that I have seen. Even the glass coating before we dry this has the hydrophobic properties. That's very, very good to see. Now for the drying stage, I'm using one of my favorite microfiber drying towels, twisted loop kind of thing here. So we have the Rag Company Gauntlet version number 2. This is one of my favorite ones. Twisted loops are typically the ones that absorb the most, but there are many very good drying towels. I have a video out there on the best drying towels in the world. So we're going to use simply the Armour Detail Supply Hero that was applied on there as the drying aid because it has more than enough lubrication. But if you want to use something else at the end to boost gloss and slickness even more, and perhaps add a few weeks of extra protection, you can use something like their own Amplify, one of my favorite current quick detail sprays. This one here is SiO2 based, so ceramic, great little topper for a monthly use on your ceramic or graphene coated vehicle, or even if you have no protection, it still works super well. You can use this even on waxes and paint sealants, no problem. So that's for even more added gloss and lubrication. So what I like about this is because it leaves no real protection or stout protection behind. It does leave a little thing behind, but nothing long lasting. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. So you can control what you want to apply at the end if you so choose to do so. So whatever ceramic detail spray, graphene detail spray, regular detail spray, if you want to add even more gloss and slickness. But in this case, I find all that is needed is to use the towel, and immediately you can tell it just glides on there. That's what I like about the Hero probably the most after their cleaning power is the lubrication aspect, which is again very key when you're using a rinseless wash. So we're going to dry the vehicle, the glass, every single surface you can do with this. Don't forget, all that dirt and grime was encapsulated when we did the pre-treat and then lifted off the vehicle when we were applying the rinseless wash because it's now encapsulated. So that's how you're not scratching and marring the surface, plus all that added lubrication. Look at that, the glass, it's not streaking at all. Beautiful to see. There are some rinseless washes out there sometimes that will streak, especially in the sun. This one here, if you do use it outside in direct sunlight, DJ and Bradley, the owners of Armour Detail Supply, said absolutely no problem. I tested that to make sure, because you never know, right? Different conditions, different areas. And I can guarantee that yes, it will dry on the surface if you work in direct sunlight. However, the good thing is, whatever is left behind those little polymer spots, they easily wipe off as soon as you towel dry the vehicle. So in a matter of what, if I was doing this off camera to wash and clean the vehicle, 10 to 15 minutes tops, and then to go around with the towel to dry another 5 minutes. So basically 20 minutes to 25 minutes tops if you take your time on an average size vehicle. Even perhaps a bit quicker if you just have a sedan. This is an SUV there, obviously. But yeah, just great lubrication on there. The towel just glides effortlessly, and the surface very clean, beautiful to the touch. Yeah, trust me on this one. Try it out and let me know what you guys think. All right, so I'm going to finish doing the rest, and we're to come back for the discussion. All right, final results. Look at that. Very glossy. No streaks left. Nothing. Just a nice surface, and this is without a topper. So very, very clean, and of course lubricious. You remember what it looked like to start off with. Whatever's there of water spots or perhaps any light scratches or swirls, that's just over the years of the vehicle being daily driven. It's not as well maintained as my own car, but still. So she got this in October 2021. Decent maintenance. Every now and then, unfortunately, her dealership, when she goes for maintenance, they do wash the car. I always tell her to tell them not to do that, but we try and do our best. Cleaned, I'd say, on average by me once a month. And yeah, very glossy. No streaks on the glass. So one of the good rinseless washes, probably the best one for that, for the no streaking. Cleaning potential. What do you guys think? Leave comments. What is your favorite rinseless wash, by the way? And did you try the Armour Detail Supply Hero Rinseless Wash? So yeah, let's have the discussion. All right, guys, I think the demo spoke for itself. What did you guys think? The Armour Detail Supply Hero Rinseless Wash came out to play. So I remind you the main features of this. Once again, they went for cleaning power and lubricity. So the lubricated surface, absolutely insane. And the cleaning power we saw, I was really, really impressed to see just how much of that road film and traffic film it removed. We restored the hydrophobic properties, perhaps just as much as I could with a more powerful or dedicated soap for the traditional wash method. So this is getting very close to that. I still think the traditional wash, if you want the best possible clean, is the best way to go, especially if the vehicle is dirty, right? You wouldn't do this rinseless wash method on a super dirty car. You'd pre-rinse first with your pressure washer or garden hose, remove all of that loose dirt and debris. But for light to moderate amounts of dirt, as you guys saw, in a few minutes, you clean your vehicle. The lubrication, the cleaning power, once again, amazing. The scent, best of the best. So as far as the technology, again, we said this is a hybrid. So it has surfactants, but this is a residue-free, newer type of surfactant. It doesn't foam. So I appreciated that because I don't want any of the residual foam in the nooks and crannies when I'm done rinseless washing. And also they're heavier on the polymer side. So there are polymers and also, again, a silicon dioxide or SiO2 backbone, but the backbone is there mainly for lubrication. So not for protection. It leaves nothing behind as far as long-lasting protection. Whatever minimal amount of polymers, because any polymer-based as well, rinseless wash will leave something behind. Some last a lot longer than others. We're going to talk about that in just a few seconds. But this one here leaves nothing behind that will impede or alter the properties of your existing protection. And if you are doing this before you're applying a coating, when you're going to finish drying your vehicle with the rinseless wash, then you go ahead and use your panel prep or your IPA solution as you normally would. That's enough to remove whatever little residue is on there, and you can go directly to coating. So that is very, very good. Now, what is the price? Because that's always a concern. Now, we're going to nitpick, because I'm going to talk about the price for the 16-ounce version. They also have a gallon size. And we're going to compare to the other very good ones, because there are very, very good rinseless washes. Some people might prefer polymer based, others more surfactant heavy. Some prefer things that are going to leave perhaps a stouter protection behind, although it might alter the properties of your existing protection. There's things for everyone. So we're going to talk about that. First of all, for the price. This is one of the more expensive ones in this comparison. So for the 16-ounce version, this one here comes in at $17.99 USD for 16 ounces, or $1.12 per ounce. And if you use a traditional, we're going to compare that to a 3 gallons of use, right? For a traditional wash where we would use normally 3 gallons of water, that would mean a $1.68 US per wash. So I'm going to compare that to the other. So it is the most expensive one in the test. But again, we're nickel and diming because you're using so very little that it won't make ultimately a difference for every single wash, even though this is double the price compared to something like the O&R for a single wash. But still, we're talking pennies difference in the long run. So you have to choose the one that you prefer as far as performance. The gallon size is $64.99 US, or 51 cents per ounce, so obviously more economical there. You're cutting the price down a lot. For my Canadian viewers, for the 16-ounce format, it should be roughly 26 Canadian dollars once this launches. We're going to see, because as of filming now on April 20th, it's not available. I think they said it's coming out on April 23rd. So by the time you see this video, it should be available, but look for roughly 26 Canadian dollars for the 16 ounces, or $1.60 Canadian per ounce. So how does it stack up price-wise compared to the others? Well, if we look at DIY Detail, their rinseless wash for 16 ounces is $16.99 US, so slightly less expensive, so $1.06 per ounce. And for a per wash, let me have my notes here, we're talking about $1.59 per wash, so for those 3 gallons. They have this in a gallon size at $49.99 US for a gallon. Next, we have the Idrosave by Labocosmetica, an Italian company. So this is a new product for North America. The Labocosmetica is $26.95 US for a liter. So that's 33.8 ounces. So a bigger size compared to the traditional 16 or 32 ounces. Comes down to 80 cents US per ounce, or $1.20 US per wash for those 3 gallons. And they have it in a 1.18 gallon size. $62.95 US is the price for the 1.18 gallons. So you're getting more than the traditional American gallon. Next, we have the McKee's N914. This is not the version 2, but still, for the price for the version 2 would be $26.99 US for 32 ounces, or 84 cents US per ounce. That comes down to a cost of $1.26 per wash. And they also have a gallon size at $69.99 US dollars. Version 2 has more lubrication and a few other things in the revised formula, by the way. Let me know if you want me to test it, by the way, and give you my opinion. PNS, so their absolute rinseless wash, is $17.99 US for 32 ounces, or 56 cents per ounce. This is the less expensive one in the bunch, tied with the Optimum, which we're going to talk about. This comes down to, again, 56 cents US per ounce, or 84 cents US per wash for those 3 gallons. And a gallon size of this is $46.95 US. And last but not least, also tied for cheapest one in the bunch as far as price is concerned, this is the Optimum Polymer Technologies O&R, or Optimum No Rinse, coming in at $17.99 US for 32 ounces, or 56 cents US per ounce, at a cost of 84 US cents per wash for those 3 gallons. And a gallon size of this is $44.99. So yes, the less expensive ones, PNS Absolute and O&R, but again, we're talking for these 2 per wash, or if you're using 3 gallons to wash your vehicle, 84 cents. And if you look at my 2 favorite ones probably in the bunch currently, the DIY Detail and the Armour Detail Supply, you're looking at, for the DIY Detail, $1.59 per wash for those 3 gallons, and for the Armour Detail Supply, $1.68 US per wash. So roughly more or less double the price compared to the O&R and Absolute, but it's pennies, right? So $1.68 or $1.59 compared to 84 cents for a wash. I mean, that's really nitpicking. I think price is not that big of an issue, especially if you get into the bigger sizes. So don't worry too much about price, worry more about the performance in your scenarios. So the other one that the Armour Detail Supply, how does it compare to the other ones? So in my experience, again, I'm not a rinseless wash expert. You can rely on Eddie Cologne at the ECD Details if your main activity is rinseless washing, if you want more in-depth knowledge about rinseless washes. But in my honest opinion, so the Hero Rinseless Wash by Armour Detail Supply, this one here leaves nothing behind that will alter the properties, and I could clearly see that, and it did a great job at cleaning. So it's kind of perhaps a higher end version of the DIY Detail Rinseless Wash, which now has been a staple for over a year to a year and a half since they launched the brand. I know a lot of detailers love this. I'm being told, by the way, that they're working on a revised version, so version 2 of this, because obviously when you see all the other competition, you have time to work things around, right? The Hero being the latest one, they had time to observe what everybody else was doing and take the pros and cons and come up with their awesome formulation. So time advantage on their side, even though they were late to the game. That's how they got it right. So now others are catching on these improvements, and I can't wait to test the new version of DIY Details. So this is a hybrid, once again, polymer and surfactant based. However, it doesn't leave anything stout behind as well. So if you want just something for the cleaning power that leaves nothing that can change the properties of your existing protection, and that leaves nothing behind, residue free, the DIY Detail and the Armour Detail Supply are very good at that. The McKee's is more surfactant based, but this is another one that doesn't leave any protection behind or anything that's long lasting. So that's another good one. Version 2, I'm told, once again, is doing pretty good. Now, if you're looking for more stout protection from the polymers, and you're looking for more slickness when you're done rinseless washing your vehicle and you're done towel drying, if you want that residual slickness, although it can alter the properties of your existing protection because you are leaving something behind, well then Idrosave is for you. This is another one that Eddie absolutely loved. It cleans like crazy, but they recommend going panel to panel with this one. Maybe not as good for direct sunlight use, at least not as recommended, even though you can still do it as long as you're doing it panel per panel. So a bit longer on the process. I prefer doing the entire vehicle in one shot, so pre-spraying the entire vehicle, then rinseless washing the entire vehicle, not having to dry in between panels, right? And then just dry at the end. So that's not quite the case with Idrosave. However, this is another one that smells amazing. That same 256:1 dilution, you get the bigger size, good value for money, that pH neutral, but it's the lubrication on this one that it leaves at the end, that slick surface. So very lubricating when you're cleaning, which is important. One of the best ones for that as well. But when you're done drying the vehicle after rinseless washing with this, you're going to definitely feel an increase in slickness. I don't know how long that protection lasts, but definitely more than a week. And note that it can alter the properties of whatever protection you have underneath. If that's not an issue for you, you're going to absolutely love that slickness that it leaves behind. Another one that I remember that left a lot of slickness when you're done using it and drying the vehicle is PNS Absolute. Now, I had spoken with Dave, the chemist over at PNS, and he did say that technically it doesn't leave any protection behind, but again, he knows as well that with polymer-based stuff, there's always something that you're going to leave behind. And obviously, if you're having more of that slick surface, when you're done, there's something there. Maybe not something that will impede on applying a protection once you're IPA wiping, so very easy to remove, but definitely still a nice finish behind. I really enjoyed that. I remember that of this, if you like that slick finish. And Optimum, another OG, they were supposed to improve the slickness greatly on this one. Is it as good as some of the most lubricated one like the Idrosave and the Hero Rinseless Wash? Not in my opinion at this point. It used to be the OG. I think Eddie said he loved version 3 the most. This is now the latest revision, revision number 5. It's still good, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with this. This still is a classic. You can do no wrong. But this one here, I spoke with Dr. David Gadusi, so Dr. G as many call him. He's the one of the creators, or at least helping to conceive the modern clear coat on cars. So he knows a lot about paint technology and coatings as well. His OptiCoat line was very good. I had that on one of my previous BMWs many years ago, the OptiCoat Pro Plus. Fantastic professional grade coating. So ONR is still the OG for rinseless washes. Many different uses. I have a video on, I think, 20 different uses that you can use with rinseless washes. And this was one of the stars of the show. By the way, you see this on top? I'll leave that linked. This is called a Pro Blend. It basically helps you select how much quantity you want. You set it with the ring, and then it's going to move up and down this diaphragm to whatever level you need. You just squeeze the bottle, the liquid pumps up, you pull the cap, you pour it into your bucket, and that's it. You have a precise blend every time. It's called a Pro Blend, so it's basically a dispenser, and it takes away the guesswork of trying to figure out where your measuring cups are and all that kind of stuff. So very practical little tool to have on your rinseless washes if you use them often. So smells great. Yes, it does have better lubrication compared to version number 4, which was not their best one. But is it one of the best? It does leave a bit of residue behind. Not residue, I should say, but a polymer. So Dr. G says it's nothing that's super stout or that will stay there for the long term. So it's another one that shouldn't totally mask the protection underneath. But again, you are leaving something behind. There are polymers in there. So there's nothing that will leave 0 behind. When we're saying it's leaving nothing behind, it's leaving nothing that's long lasting behind, or at least nothing that might alter the protection or the properties of your existing protection. So all of these are excellent. You cannot go wrong regardless of which one of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rinseless washes now. Like a few years ago, we were hard pressed to find anything better than ONR. They were the OGs, and nothing until version 3 was really competing. And now I think there's one from Fein Lab. Apparently that's amazing also. Let me know if you want me to try those, by the way. There's Uber Rinseless that I tested many years ago. I'm sure they improved on that as well. There are many companies that are coming out. There's OPC that also has a very good rinseless wash. The Gionu rinseless wash that the Eco Wash that I've been testing a lot. I'm down to their second bottle already, but the Eco Wash, let me know if you want to know more about this. I still need to test it more in depth. I have a lot more experience with the ones that you see here, but these are all excellent and they could all be on your shelves, really. Let me know if you've tested any of these. What is your favorite one? But more importantly, why? Because I can make a candidate to be number 1 in any category out of any of these for different reasons, right? It depends a lot, often in detailing, it's personal preference on what you guys like. Some people might prefer a stouter protection left behind, something that's going to leave a lot of slickness. So they might go for the Idrosave or the Absolute, especially if you want longer term, the polymers that it leaves behind. The Idrosave is excellent. Some people might want something that is a hybrid, but that focuses more on cleaning and leaving nothing long lasting or nothing surface altering behind, like the Hero and the DIY rinseless wash. And so you can make candidates out of all of these depending on what you like. But personally, right now, I'd probably put these 2 as my top 2. So I think Absolute had taken first place, was it a year or 2 ago, for best rinseless wash? And the DIY detail was very close to it. But the more I use this, the more I realize just how good it is. And so these would probably be the first 2. I will wait to test version 2 before determining who takes podium as first place in the Car Detailing Products Awards video, but right now I think these would be my favorite 2. This, for slickness, obviously takes the cake if you want the slickest out of all of it. For the finish it leaves behind, Idrosave is, I think, the slickest one. But overall, for cleaning, for the quality, for the scent, for all the dilutions, all the uses you can have out of this, and also for the lubricity that it leaves behind, I can definitely understand why Eddie Cologne picked this as his number 1 rinseless wash of the year for 2024. This is the latest and greatest technology right now. There's everything to like about it. I'll leave everything linked, by the way, in the description under the video, including the microfiber towels, the wash media, the pump sprayers, the microfiber drying towel, whatever you need to do a good job. As you can see, very little is needed to do a good job out of a rinseless wash. And yeah, again, I want to know your thoughts. Did you try Hero? I can tell you, if you never tried Hero, give it a try. Thank me later. Also thank Eddie, because he collaborated very closely with Armour Detail Supply. I think this was a collab that lasted over 6 months, because they started working on this over 6 months ago, according to their video. So a long time coming, many months of development, 11 or 12 different formulations to get to this point. Many were trashed because Eddie wasn't happy with them. So he was very thorough and very direct. I really like the guy's personality. Shout out again, Eddie Cologne, a brother from another mother. Really nice guy. Doing great stuff for the community, by the way. I hope his channel surpasses 10,000 subscribers soon. He definitely deserves it. Go show him some love. I'll try to leave his channel linked in the description. Hopefully I don't forget that. But check him out, ECD Details, Eddie Cologne on YouTube. Great stuff. But the hero of the video, Hero Rinseless Wash, absolutely, by Armour Detail Supply. So guys, let me know what your thoughts and opinions. Which one is your favorite of the bunch? And if there's one that should be on this list that I perhaps haven't tested yet, that you know might supersede all of them, I'm always curious. Let me know which one. Drop a comment in the comment section. In the meantime, don't forget, keep it tight, keep it clean, and I'll see you all on the next one.